All right, things went well in both videos, so we're definitely moving on to new stuff. But there was a couple things I wanted to point out because I'm pretty big on details, paying attention to details. Um, Eventually, you started playing this last chord twice at the end. Now, I don't know if that was just because you had fun doing it, or if you actually thought you were supposed to play it twice. So, just so I know you definitely understand what's written out, play it exactly how it's written. Do your best to resist adding in extra frills like right away. Now, maybe, after you've obviously stopped the progression, you can do a little whatever, but yeah, just definitely play exactly what's there to make sure you understand everything. I want to make sure that that's good. And then on this one, you basically never hit that until like maybe the end. And my ear just kept wanting to hear like play that chord, play that chord, play that chord. So that's part of it. Like hitting the end chord, that's important. You need to hit the ending too. So just stopping here when you're working it up, not good enough. That's not the end. This is the end. So make sure you hit the ending. But you did at the very end on the repeats. So that's good. So that being said, you've demonstrated you know how to do the repeats, so you do not have to include that in your videos anymore. I always have people include it at first to make sure they understand what to do. Because oftentimes people don't. So I want to make sure that everyone does. And you do understand it. So you're good there. No need to add in the repeats on your videos. So when you send in the videos, still show me the last practice session up until you're going to do the repeats, and you can go ahead and stop recording there. So yeah, that does make a difference when that record button's on. I like to call it the panic button. Because, yeah, it's just a whole different mindset when the recording is happening. Okay, so for this one, we got kind of some prep work for this. Because this rhythm right here, basically we're going to have 4 different strumming patterns or 4 different rhythms. And usually when people start working to combine this one, that's change on the upstroke and change on the upbeat. People get thrown off there a lot. So I think it'd be a good idea. Let's actually practice that kind of thing first and then go into all 4 rhythms. And just like before, if you're going to attempt to play 240 while you're practicing, just start recording it then, because you might get it and then send it over. Just like you tried before. And then, yeah, I'll point out if anything is incorrect or not. So yeah, make sure you count along from 60 to 120 when you're playing. Just keep doing that. Excellent thing to do. And I have the rhythm written out 2 different ways. So we got this rhythm here being repeated down here. So got your quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note tied to an eighth note, which is the length of a quarter note. And then you got your eighth note tied across the bar line, and then it's really the same thing throughout the rest of that. So because we can use a quarter note here instead of an eighth tied to an eighth, we are. But let's play through it, counting off. I'm gonna say the whole rhythm and then start playing. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and done. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2. All right, so this one, I have it written out twice. And let's see. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay. There we go. So basically, let me just change it to this setting. There we go. So yeah, it's written out two different ways. Again, got tied eighth notes within the bar the first way, and then replacing those tied eighth notes with quarter notes as much as possible. Can't happen here, but these you can. So the rhythm is exactly the same. Counting is the same. So it's just a little more cleaned up down here, but not as easy to see where all the downbeats and upbeats are. So let's run through this. A lot more counting this time. But I'll count through the whole thing and then start playing. So we got 1, 2, and 4. 1, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, and 4. 1, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and done. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, and done. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll do things like so I'm just wondering, did I do something like that on your first lesson? If I did and that made you think, oh yeah, I can just kind of end it however, I apologize. We don't want to end it just however all the time. But a little flash like that every now and then is not a big deal. But again, I just want to make sure you understand exactly what to do. Anyway, ooh, not that yet. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, any questions come up, let me know, and I will see you again next week.